What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. If you are new here, welcome to the Foodpreneurs Corner, where we talk everything food and agri business alongside branding and all the rest. So, if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing and leave a like and share. If you are an old member, I'm glad to have you here once again. And let's take the ride. Without any further waste of time, let's dive right in. 7 things you need to consider when starting your food or agri business. This is very important because most of the times we dive into the food business before we figure out a lot of things. So in this video, I'm breaking down to you 7 things you should have in mind before you indulge yourself into food processing or agri business, whatever form of food business you want to do, whether it be restaurant. Okay, so number one, figure out your sales and distribution channels first. If you are a restaurant, make sure you have a target people that you know will come and consume your food. Figure out your sales and distribution channel first. Why? Because it is more important than the product. You can waste your time and develop an amazing product only to find it difficult to get it to the table of the final consumer. So the most important thing is to first of all know who will buy this product. You spend your time, understand your customer, where you will find them, how the product will get on their table before you even go to produce, before you even go to make that amazing product that is in your mind or process it in the lab. So most people go faith-based. They say, okay, let's just start. Things are going to figure themselves out. Let's just start. The most important thing is to start. No, that's not the most important thing. First of all, understand how you are going to take it from your lab or from your production room to the table of who will consume it. And whether it will be accepted or not, you have to understand that first before you go to produce. So instead of going faith-based, go fact-based. Use information, collect data. There are a lot of scientific, or should I say systematic ways of determining how your product will get to the table of the consumer and testing it out before you even go to make the product. Whether there are complementary products out there that can do the same thing that your product is about to do, then you realize that the most difficult thing is not the product. The most difficult thing is how the product will be distributed or how it will be consumed. So before you go into the solving of the engineering problem or the product problem, first of all, make sure you have figured out how the product will get to the final consumer. A very important thing, start with the consumer. Point number 2, you have to be ready to go all in at the start. Yes, even if you are going to rely on hired expertise to run the business, you have to be completely involved at the start of the business. You have to understand the processes, understand the mathematics, understand the data. You have to be all in at the start of the business, as I said. Despite considering the fact that you might leave the business at some point in time, you have to be ready to go all in. So avoid not being there at the start of the business. You have to be there. You have to be all present at the start of your business. If you know you are not going to be there, don't even start it. Because if you are relying on hired expertise, there is a higher 85 to 90% chance that your business will shut down or will fail within the first 2 years. You have to consider being all in at the start of your business. Point number 3, answer this question. Are you called to be an entrepreneur? What does this mean? Because you are indulging into food business, being an entrepreneur will require extra working hours. You will find yourself running unforeseen errands. You will find yourself working 40 plus hours within the week, working over the weekend, doing things that you were not expected to do. So are you called to be an entrepreneur? Are you going to be involved in this studious process? Are you happy serving people? You know, food business is all about making people happy. You have to be someone who enjoys serving people in order to successfully run a food business. You have to be there to ensure that the service quality is good and the people are happy, because food is something that makes people happy. So if you know you don't like to serve, it's better you look for another business where you'll be behind the counter and people will not see you, than to be involved in food where you have to deal with customers and even enjoy their pain of satisfaction. Are you willing to go without pay for a while? Because you are not going to be profitable from day one. You are definitely going to struggle for a period of time. Though we have worked with food businesses that are able to recover their investment within the first 6 months, we realize that the food business is not profitable from day one, despite the fact that it is something a lot of clients are available and people enjoy consuming food. You are not going to be profitable from day one. Despite food being something a lot of people enjoy, you are still going to have the struggles of a small or startup business. So you are not going to be profitable from day one. We have worked with food processing businesses that turned profitable within the first 6 months and recovered their investment. But that's because the right foundation was laid. That's because everything was properly done and they could easily maneuver and come out profitable within 6 months. So within this period where you are not going to be profitable, are you ready to go without pay? Because if you are trying to have a system where you are going to block out from, then know that you are in for a big shock. That's that. Point number 4, understand your target market. Most of the times when you ask food process entrepreneurs who is your target, they will tell you everybody. I'm sorry to inform you that it is not everybody. Food is eaten and loved by everybody, but your target client is not everybody. If I was to send 10 clients to you right now, who will be your best pick? Who will you ask me to send to you? You have to have your client well figured out, your target market well known, such that you can even carve out an avatar of them and say, I am targeting young boys and girls from the age of 0 to 5 who are in pre-nursery, who are still consuming baby food. Well, you have to be very specific with who your target is. And to get to these young boys and girls, I have to pass through their moms. So I'm targeting moms and dads between the age of. So you have to be very specific. Don't say your food is for everybody, because I'm sorry to inform you that it is not for everybody. The clearer your target audience, so that you can be able to carve an avatar of them, you are going to make your marketing easy. Otherwise, you are going to spend a lot of money on marketing and your message is not going to be clear and it's not going to generate any results because you don't actually know who you are targeting, who your target market is. So point number 4, you must know your target market. Number 5, mastering the mathematics of the business. Yes, you have to know the mathematics of your business. Don't rely solely on hired expertise. As I said, hired expertise is good, but at the start of your business, you need to be there to have the insight, to know exactly what is going on, what is happening. You must understand the mathematics of your business, meaning that you are not required to do the mathematics yourself, definitely, but you need to understand it. You need to be involved and know that for a kilogram of yogurt, we use this quantity of additives, this quantity of sugar, this quantity of milk, and all of that to order to come out with the cost of production of 1 kilogram will be equal to 250 francs or 350 francs. And that is in CFA. You can convert it to dollars or naira, whichever way you're listening to CDs. From there, you know exactly what will be the cost of distribution, which you can add to the cost, and finally how much your product will cost in the market. If you don't understand this mathematics, it will keep changing, it will keep fluctuating. This month you can be operating profitable, next month you are unprofitable because you don't understand the mathematics of the raw materials. You have to understand it so that you know the profit margin on each product, and you can easily follow up with your daily collection sheet to know whether the quantities that are required for production are being respected, so that you can easily check warehouse, you can easily check all this background information just from the data that is being provided to you every day by the production team. But if this mathematics of your product or business is not there, you will not understand. A lot of people are out there producing food. Maybe let us say you are producing puff puff or puff balls, and you don't even know which quantity of flour you are using every day. You just keep frying and you assume you are profitable, or you are feeding your animals, your chicken, and you keep feeding them every day, and you just know that after 3 months I'm going to sell them. You don't know whether this batch ate more than the previous batch, or this batch actually ate less than the previous batch. You only have those in mind. It comes like an idea. You have an idea of it, but you don't have the data, you don't have the fact to show that this month we used more of corn and the chickens were fatter than the month where we use more of soybeans. You have to have this information so that you can know how to play granular and manipulate and know exactly how to make your business more profitable. And it becomes more confusing if you don't have this data. So you have to understand the mathematics, profit margin, and everything. Be ready to dive into the mathematics of your food business. Point number 6, do not start with multiple products. Multiple products, I always say, bring cluster. You have too much to deal with. And you cannot. Okay, let me say you want to start a poultry farm and you want to feed chicken, guinea pigs, and all the rest. You will not know who is eating what exactly in terms of fine data. You have a global idea of what is going on, but you will not know who is eating what. Whereas if you are dealing with a single product, you will know whether soybeans is performing better than mixed corn and groundnut, or which food combination is doing well for which category, because you have all the time and all the data to analyze a particular set of chicken that came in. You don't know exactly what a particular batch of chicken consumed and all of that. And all. You are doing natural juice, you have baobab, you have oranges, you have mangoes. The sourcing of these raw materials are different. You have to be very, very sure of the information about all of them, because you cannot ignore one of them. Maybe one fruit is more perishable than the other. Maybe one needs more care than the other. But because you have so many products in front of you, you don't really pay attention to the granular detail. So don't start with multiple products. Start with one product. Definitely, you are going to extend your branches and do more, but start with one product. Understand the sales and distribution, finish this one product and make it very, very profitable and refined in terms of raw materials, in terms of processes, in terms of everything, before you extend your arm to add another product. Somebody will start yogurt today, it is not yet profitable, you are adding natural juice to it, natural juice is not yet going, you are already frying puff balls and sugar balls to add to it, it's not even yet, you already have too many. I'm not saying you should not have complementary products, but you should not have multiple products at the start of your business. So just be careful to pick which is best to start with, and then you're going to extend gradually with time. Number 7, have the mind of a champion. You need to be ready to win. If you don't have the mind of a champion, then you're not even ready to start a food business. So you need to have information about the business you are going into. You need to be sure. Don't just hear that this business is profitable and you dive into it. Don't hear say. Be sure that you have gathered information about the business and you are very sure before you go into that business. And when you are in it, be ready to go all in and win. You have to be ambitious. If you are serving 20 clients and desire to serve 40, 50, if you are already going nationwide, desire to go international, you have to have the mind of a champion. A champion is always pushing the boundaries and getting more and more results at each time. All right, that is that for today. That's what we prepared for you in terms of mistakes you can make as a beginner in food businesses. So if you want to avoid these mistakes, or if you want to talk more about them, feel free to drop a comment, ask any question, and we'll continue the discussion in the comment section. With all of that, I'm Habas, your host for the day, and see you in the next video. Peace.